Hello NCA aspirants. So today I am going to cover topic number 3, that is federalism, under part 2 of your NCA Canadian Constitutional Law syllabus. It is one of the most foundational concepts in Canadian constitutional law. I will also discuss how legislative powers are divided under sections 91 to 95 of the Constitution Act 1867. Now let's start with the term federalism. What does federalism actually mean? See, federalism refers to the constitutional distribution of legislative authority between federal and provincial governments. Each level is sovereign within its jurisdiction, meaning that one cannot override other unless constitutionally permitted. See, according to Hogg, Canadian federalism did not emerge as an abstract constitutional theory, but it was a pragmatic political compromise reached during Confederation in 1867. At that time, the British North American colonies, such as the province of Canada, which included Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, wanted to unite for reasons like economic growth, defense against external threats, and political stability. However, they faced a fundamental problem: how to unify without erasing regional differences. This is where federalism became the solution. The federal government was given powers under Section 91 over national and economic matters, and the provinces were given power under Section 92 over local matters, especially property and civil rights. Hogg also emphasized that this division reflects a balance between unity and diversity. Unity through a strong central government capable of managing national concerns, and diversity through constitutionally protected provincial autonomy. Now you can see the core structure lies in Section 91 and 92, where Section 91 grants federal parliament authority over matters of national importance, basically the matters that affect the entire country. These include areas such as criminal law, bankruptcy and insolvency, military, marriage and divorce, trade and commerce, and residual power under peace, order, and good government, that is POG. The presence of POG indicates that the framers intended the federal government to have the capacity to legislate on matters that are not specifically assigned elsewhere, particularly where national coordination is required. Now coming to Section 92, Section 92 in contrast assigns powers to the provinces over matters that are local or private in nature. The most significant head of power here is property and civil rights, which has been interpreted very broadly and forms the backbone of provincial legislative authority. Provinces also have jurisdiction over local works, municipal institutions, and administration of justice within the province. Now, together, Section 91 and 92 create a system of enumerated and, in principle, exclusive powers, forming the primary framework of Canadian federalism. However, the Constitution also recognizes that not all matters can be neatly divided. This is where Section 93 to 95 becomes important. Section 93 deals specifically with education, providing provincial jurisdiction but subject to certain protection for denominational school rights. And Section 94 allows Parliament to legislate for the uniformity of laws relating to property and civil rights in the common law provinces, although it requires provincial consent and has rarely been used in practice till now. Now, coming to Section 95, it introduces an important exception to exclusivity by establishing concurrent jurisdiction over agriculture and immigration. Both levels of government can legislate in these areas. However, where there is a conflict, federal law prevails, reflecting the principle of federal paramountcy. So while Section 91 and 92 provide the primary division of powers, Section 93 to 95 demonstrate that Canadian federalism also incorporate flexibility, shared jurisdiction, and historical compromise, ensuring that the constitutional structure can address both national and regional needs. Now that we understand how the Constitution divides power between the federal and provincial governments, the next important question is, how do courts actually apply this division in real cases? This is where the key federalism principle, as explained by Hogg, becomes important. According to Hogg, Canadian federalism is governed by certain foundational principles that explains how the division of powers actually operates in practice. Firstly, the principle of exclusivity of power comes directly from the structure of Section 91 and 92, where each level of government, whether federal or provincial, has exclusive authority within its assigned heads of power. This means that if a law falls within a valid head of power, it is constitutionally valid, even if it has incidental effects on jurisdiction of the other level. Courts do not invalidate such law merely because of overlap in effects. Secondly, the modern approach emphasizes cooperative federalism. rather than treating federal and provincial powers as strictly separate or mutually exclusive. Courts now recognize that overlap is inevitable in complex modern state. Here the goal is to allow both levels of government to operate effectively. Therefore, where possible, courts interpret legislation in a way that allows both federal and provincial laws to coexist instead of striking one down. Thirdly, Hogg highlights the idea of flexibility and evolution. Canadian federalism has developed over time through judicial interpretations. So, modern jurisprudence reflects a more flexible and pragmatic approach, allowing the Constitution to adapt to new realities such as economic regulation, environmental concerns, and technological changes. So, the key takeaway is that while the Constitution provides a formal division of powers, its practical application is shaped by these principles, ensuring that federalism remains functional and balanced. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming NCA syllabus focus videos. And for structured notes, IRACs, syllabus updates, and additional guidance, you can also join our NC Exam Pathway WhatsApp group. The link is in the description. Stay consistent, keep building your concepts, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.